When creation first breathed the twin flames into existence, it was not merely to live together in one place or one time, it was to learn how to feel one another across eternity. Their essence was woven from the same divine spark, two currents of light flowing from one eternal flame. Even when they drifted into different worlds, bodies, or lifetimes, something sacred remained, an invisible thread connecting heart to heart, soul to soul. As we journeyed through before time began, the divine blueprint of twin flames, and the birth of eternal love, we saw how this bond was forged in the very beginning, how the universe imprinted within both souls a magnetic memory of oneness. Now, in this new chapter, we move deeper into that mystery. What happens when the outer search fades and the connection becomes something that can only be felt within? Inner contact is not about finding, chasing, or possessing the other. It is about tuning into the vibration where both souls already exist as one. It is the shift from seeking love in the physical world to realizing that love was never lost. It was merely veiled by illusion. In moments of stillness, in dreams, or even in sudden waves of emotion, the soul begins to feel the presence of its counterpart, subtle, yet unmistakable. This is where the journey transforms from outer longing to inner communion. Many twin flames experience it as a quiet calling in the heart, a whisper that transcends time and logic. You may sense your twin's thoughts before they are spoken, or feel their emotions as if they were your own. This is not imagination, it is energy, moving through the timeless bond that unites both souls. But inner contact is not always peaceful. At times, it mirrors the storms within us. When one twin experiences fear, the other may feel an echo of it. When one opens to healing, the other feels a sudden lightness of being. Through this energetic bridge, the souls continue to help each other grow, even when no words are exchanged. In truth, this invisible thread is the soul's most sacred teacher. It reminds us that love does not depend on proximity, conversation, or confirmation. It is an eternal presence. The universe uses distance only to teach us that the connection was never broken. The heart, once awakened, becomes the meeting place, a temple where two flames still burn as one. In this chapter, we will explore how this inner contact unfolds, how the soul speaks through energy, how silence becomes communion, and how love, unseen but undeniable, becomes the bridge between two worlds. The connection between twin flames transcends all known forms of communication. When two souls share the same divine origin, words often become unnecessary, and language turns into vibration. The language of energy is the soul's native tongue, a current of feeling, intuition, and resonance that allows both flames to speak across time and space. Unlike the spoken word, this form of communication cannot be controlled or forced. It flows naturally from the bond itself, arising when both hearts are open and aligned with the same frequency of love. It is not about thinking of the other, but feeling them. A sudden warmth in the chest, an unexplainable calm, or an unexpected tear may all be signs that energy is moving between the two souls, a silent message carried through the field of consciousness. Energy communication often begins subtly. One may wake in the middle of the night sensing their twin's presence or experience emotions that seem foreign yet deeply familiar. These are not coincidences, but energetic imprints, echoes of the other soul's experience resonating through the shared spiritual network that binds them. Over time, this communication becomes clearer as both individuals learn to trust what they feel more than what they see. Dreams are another realm where this language speaks fluently. When the physical world feels too dense for such subtle vibrations, the astral plane becomes a meeting ground. Here, twin flames exchange guidance, reassurance, and healing energy. These dreams often feel more real than waking life because they occur on the level of the soul, where the separation of bodies no longer matters. Yet, the language of energy is not only about connection, it is also a mirror. Through this bond, the twin flame reflects back every vibration within us, both light and shadow. If one holds fear, doubt, or anger, the other may feel it too. This is why the connection can be intense and overwhelming at times. It demands emotional maturity and spiritual grounding. The more each twin learns to balance their inner world, the purer the energy that flows between them. In moments of harmony, this language becomes divine music, two frequencies resonating in perfect alignment. The silence between them becomes charged with meaning. A simple thought, a quiet breath, or a look at the sky at the same moment can transmit more love than 1,000 spoken words. They begin to live in a shared field of awareness where energy moves effortlessly, guided by higher consciousness. Understanding the language of energy means remembering how the soul speaks, through intuition, through presence, through vibration. It reminds both flames that love is not a signal sent outward, but a current flowing inward, connecting them through the essence of being itself. When they attune to this frequency, they discover that separation was never real. For energy, like love, knows no distance. When twin flames begin to awaken to their energetic connection, the universe offers signs, subtle, intimate, and deeply personal, that their souls are in communication. These signs are not coincidences. They are the language of the divine made visible, the proof that energy moves where love flows. Recognizing them requires sensitivity, openness, and trust in what cannot be seen yet, is deeply felt. The first and most common sign is a sudden shift in emotion that has no clear origin. You may feel a wave of love, sadness, peace, or longing that appears out of nowhere. This is often your twin's energy brushing against yours, a silent message carried through the shared frequency of your souls. It can happen during moments of stillness, meditation, or even in the middle of ordinary life, when the heart becomes receptive enough to notice the vibration beneath thought. Another sign is synchronicity. When inner communication begins, life itself becomes a mirror of the connection. You might start seeing repeating numbers like 1111, 222, or 777, energetic codes that signify alignment and spiritual communication. Songs, words, or places tied to your twin may appear repeatedly, as if the universe is weaving reminders into your daily experience. These are not accidents, but resonances, symbols that bridge the inner and outer worlds. Dreams are among the most profound signs of energetic contact. In the dream realm, where the barriers of time and space dissolve, twin flames often meet to exchange healing, forgiveness, or guidance. These dreams carry a vivid emotional charge. They feel more like memories than imagination. You may wake up with tears, warmth in the chest, or a feeling of peace that lingers throughout the day. Dreams are the soul's way of speaking what the waking mind cannot yet comprehend. Physical sensations also accompany inner communication. Many describe feeling warmth in the heart or solar plexus, tingling on the skin, or a sudden surge of energy up the spine when thinking of their twin. The energy body reacts to the vibration of the connection, as if responding to a distant yet familiar song. Some feel their twin's touch or presence beside them during meditation or before sleep. Not as fantasy, but as energetic resonance. There are also moments of simultaneous experience, thinking of your twin right before they reach out, or feeling restless just as they go through emotional turmoil. This telepathic link is not about reading minds, but about sharing frequency, both souls vibrating within the same energetic field. As these signs unfold, the most important response is not obsession or analysis, but surrender. Each sign is an invitation to go inward, to listen more deeply to the guidance of the soul. The purpose of inner communication is not to confirm attachment, but to awaken remembrance, the knowing that love transcends all limits. When twin flames learn to recognize these sacred signals with gratitude and peace, they begin to walk not by sight, but by vibration, guided by the invisible thread of divine connection that never breaks. In the journey of twin flames, where emotions often surge like waves, and the longing for union can be overwhelming, stillness becomes both sanctuary and teacher. It is in silence, not in seeking, that the soul begins to remember its eternal bond. Stillness and meditation are not merely practices of peace. They are portals through which inner communication deepens and divine truth reveals itself. When the mind quiets, the noise of fear and doubt begins to fade. In its place emerges the subtle vibration of the soul, whispering in tones softer than thought. Meditation allows the heart to become receptive, to tune into the energetic language that connects twin flames beyond words or distance. The more one enters this inner silence, the more clearly the messages from the higher self and from the twin can be felt. Many believe that meditation is about escaping reality, but in truth, it is about entering it fully. Through conscious breathing and presence, one aligns with the rhythm of the universe, the same rhythm that guided the twin souls long before they met in the physical plane. This alignment dissolves resistance and opens the energy channels through which love flows freely again. Stillness also serves as a mirror. Within it, all suppressed emotions, attachments, and illusions rise to the surface to be seen and healed. It can be uncomfortable, even painful, at first. The ego, accustomed to control, resists the emptiness. Yet this emptiness is sacred. It is the womb of divine rebirth. In the vast silence of meditation, twin flames remember that they are not two separate beings longing to unite, but one consciousness exploring itself through reflection. Some experience their twin's energy most vividly in meditation. They may feel warmth, tingling, or even hear intuitive messages that bring comfort or guidance. Others sense their twin's presence as light, a soft expansion within the heart space. These experiences are not imagination, they are soul-level communication, taking place in the timeless realm beyond physical limits. Through regular practice, meditation becomes more than an activity. It becomes a state of being. The stillness cultivated within begins to expand outward, transforming how one reacts to the world. Emotional turbulence gives way to serenity, and moments of separation no longer feel like loss but like intervals of divine preparation. In this way, meditation bridges the distance between the human and the divine. It reminds each twin that union is not achieved through pursuit, but through alignment. When both souls learn to dwell in stillness, they begin to resonate at the same frequency of unconditional love. Ultimately, stillness is the sacred meeting place where heaven touches earth, where two halves of one soul remember their eternal oneness. It is in silence, not in seeking, that the truth of the connection is revealed. Love was never lost. It was simply waiting to be heard beneath the noise. There comes a moment in every twin flame journey when words are no longer enough. Communication fades, physical contact may vanish, and all that remains is silence. Profound, heavy, and filled with mystery. Yet within this silence lies the most sacred conversation of all, the dialogue between the soul and its mirror, between the self and the higher self. When the outer connection quiets, the inner voice begins to awaken. Silence becomes a teacher, revealing truths that can only be understood through feeling, not logic. In this still space, the twin flame is no longer perceived merely as another person, but as a reflection of one's own divine essence. Every emotion that rises, every fear or longing that surfaces, becomes an invitation to look deeper into the self. The silence between twins often mirrors the distance between a person and their higher self. When communication is cut, it is not punishment but initiation, a sacred phase designed to redirect awareness inward. The separation teaches surrender, asking each twin to listen to the whispers of their soul without the distraction of the other's voice. What seems like absence is, in truth, divine presence in its most subtle form. Through the mirror of the higher self, silence transforms from emptiness into revelation. It reflects the unhealed wounds, the patterns of attachment, and the illusions of control that still linger in the human heart. Yet it also reveals the brilliance beneath those layers, the infinite love, wisdom, and strength that the soul has carried since the beginning of creation. The twin flame connection magnifies these reflections, showing both the shadow and the light in equal measure. In silence, one begins to realize that the twin is not outside, waiting to return, but within, echoing through every heartbeat, every breath, every pulse of energy that moves through the body. The more one surrenders to this awareness, the more the divine self emerges. It is a sacred paradox. The less one seeks outward validation, the more deeply one feels the eternal bond within. The higher self speaks softly, not through words but through intuition, synchronicity, and vibration. A song on the radio, a dream, a sudden wave of peace. These are the languages of higher communication. When the mind is quiet, these signs are no longer random. They become sacred markers guiding the soul home. Silence, then, is not the absence of connection. It is its purest form. It strips away illusion and reveals what was always true, that the love between twin flames was never dependent on time, space, or sound. It is eternal, vibrating within the stillness that lies beyond thought. When one learns to listen to this silence, they no longer fear it. They understand that every pause, every distance, every unanswered word is the higher self saying, "Be still. You are never apart. You are the echo and the origin, the reflection and the light." Healing through inner contact is one of the most profound aspects of the twin flame journey. It is not about fixing the other or even finding them again in the physical world. It is about remembering that the connection has always been within. The pain, the longing, and the separation all serve as pathways leading the soul back to itself, where the true reunion takes place. When the inner communication between twin flames begins to awaken, it brings light to the deepest corners of the psyche. Old wounds, hidden fears, and ancient memories from past lifetimes may rise to the surface. This is not chaos, it is purification. The energy shared between the twins acts as a divine catalyst, exposing what must be healed so that both can embody higher frequencies of love and unity. The healing process starts when one stops resisting what arises. Instead of trying to silence the pain or escape the emotions, the awakened soul learns to observe them with compassion. Through meditation, stillness, and conscious awareness, the pain begins to soften. The twins' energy, felt through dreams, sensations, or sudden waves of emotion, serves as a mirror reflecting exactly what the heart still holds on to. The more one listens without judgment, the faster the transformation unfolds. Inner contact is not only emotional but also energetic. Each twin feels the other's evolution in subtle ways. When one heals, the other receives the vibration of that healing. This is why forgiveness, acceptance, and love directed inward are so powerful. They are instantly transmitted through the shared soul frequency. By tending to one's own inner wounds, one also heals the counterpart, even if they are far away in the physical realm. Sometimes, the most intense phases of separation occur precisely when this inner healing is about to deepen. The soul creates space for each twin to process their lessons independently. Though it may feel like abandonment, it is actually divine orchestration, a sacred pause that allows balance to return. Through faith and surrender, the energy between the twins stabilizes, becoming less about longing and more about unconditional presence. Gradually, the focus shifts from pain to gratitude. The heart begins to see that every challenge was an act of love in disguise, a higher design to awaken both souls to their true divine essence. The wounds that once caused suffering become portals of wisdom. Through them, the soul learns empathy, humility, and divine patience. Healing through inner contact leads to a quiet but powerful transformation, the recognition that love has never been something to seek or chase. It was always here, breathing within, waiting to be remembered. When the soul reaches this awareness, the connection between twins becomes peaceful, luminous, and free. They no longer need to grasp for one another, because they have both become living vessels of divine love, reflecting to the world the healing power of unity remembered. Love beyond distance is the ultimate revelation of the twin flame journey. The moment when the soul finally understands that love is not confined by space, time, or form. What began as a search for the other ends as a return to the eternal presence that has always lived within. Physical separation, once seen as a wound, becomes recognized as a sacred illusion, a veil designed to help the soul awaken to love's infinite nature. In the silence that follows healing, a calm awareness emerges. The longing that once felt unbearable transforms into a serene knowing that the connection has never truly been lost. Whether the twin flame is across the world, in another relationship, or beyond the veil of death itself, the love remains unbroken. It flows like light through unseen pathways, transcending all human definitions of togetherness. This stage of realization brings a new form of peace, a love without need or attachment. It is love in its purest state, expansive, free, and unconditional. No longer dependent on messages, meetings, or signs, the heart beats in harmony with the divine rhythm of creation itself. In this space, the twin flame journey is no longer about reunion in the physical sense, but about embodying divine love in all aspects of life. Distance becomes irrelevant when the soul learns to feel with the heart rather than see with the eyes. The presence of the other can be felt in every breath, every sunrise, every whisper of intuition. When one laughs, the other smiles somewhere beyond comprehension. When one prays, the other's soul listens in quiet gratitude. They are two currents of the same river, flowing separately, yet always moving toward the same ocean. This realization marks the birth of divine maturity. The love that once demanded proof now exists as an unwavering truth. It becomes an offering to the world, expressed through kindness, creativity, service, and compassion. The twin flame, once perceived as a mirror for one's healing, now becomes an extension of divine purpose, a co-creator in the unfolding of higher consciousness on earth. To love beyond distance is to love like the universe loves, without possession, without fear, without end. It is to look at the stars and recognize that the same light burning within them burns within your own heart and the heart of your twin. You are never truly apart because you are made of the same eternal flame. As the journey continues, physical reunion may or may not occur, but it no longer defines fulfillment. The soul has already found home in the essence of what it was seeking all along. divine love itself. And in that realization, distance dissolves, time ceases, and only love remains, limitless, eternal, and whole. If this message touched your heart and reminded you that true love transcends all barriers of time and space, take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever felt a deep inner connection with someone, even in silence or distance? Your story might inspire others walking the same path. If you felt the energy of this message, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next chapter of our twin flame journey. Each episode is a step deeper into understanding the sacred language of the soul and the love that binds us beyond dimensions. And if you wish to help this light continue to reach more hearts around the world, you can support the channel through the Super Thanks option. It truly makes a difference and helps us create more heartfelt stories like this one. Until our next video, remember, even when words fade, love always finds a way to speak through silence. See you in the next chapter of this divine journey.